Not all prop firms are created equal, and in this video, I'll explain why certain accounts are better for newer traders than others. Before we get into it, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. It would help a ton. I'm also giving a free Lucid Flex account to someone watching this video. All you have to do is drop a comment and subscribe. I'm picking a winner in 2 days and I'm announcing it in my Discord. Make sure you comment before you forget. Let's jump into it. I've traded this Lucid account for 53 trading days. And at the end of it all, after I blew it up, I realized that I would have been better off with a different account. Let's start off with comparing the different eval/funded accounts that Lucid offers. So these are the two evals that you can get. There's also a straight to funded option, but we're going to be focusing more on the Pro versus the Flex today. Looking at the Pro, profit and loss limit targets are about the same, but the one day pass the Pro makes it really, really nice so that you don't have to spend a bunch of time in the eval. Once you get to the funded stage, another advantage of the Pro is that you only need 3 days of profitability to take a payout. Now, this is also going to get into the cons of a bit, but you need to hit a buffer of about 2100 before you can start looking at getting a payout. So anything above that 2100 will give you a buffer. So let's just say you trade, you get to 52,100. Now you're eligible to take a payout. You have to get all the way up to maybe, let's call it like 53,100 to request $1,000 payout. That's the advantage is for any trader that is a little bit more experienced and wants to build a big buffer. Once you get over that 2,100 initial buffer, then you can essentially, all that cash is yours and whatever profits you make, you'll keep after the split. Let's talk about some cons really quick. I think the biggest con is definitely, for me at least, going to be the profit target. I think the profit target gives you like a mental goalpost that you're always trying to like go towards. So even if you have a good day or whatever it is, or a bad day even, you just feel like you're getting further or closer to target. On red days, those are like the worst ones for me because then it feels like, shit, I'm not making progress towards this anymore. And it just really sends me on like this revenge trading spiral to make progress towards that target again. The next thing is consistency. I know a lot of people complain about this, but I don't think it's the worst thing in the world. An example would be if you made $1,000 within this payout cycle, no single day can account for more than 40% of that. So you can't have a day that's bigger than $400. This does suck on the occasional outlier day that you have that's going to be a lot bigger. You know, there's pros and cons to that. For the most part, I trade pretty consistent size and I don't have like, I'm not going to trade, 5 micros one day and then 3 minis the next day. So for me, it hasn't really bothered me, but I know for people who have a lot more variable sizing, this is a big factor for them. And then the last thing is obviously just cost. The Pro costs about $111 right now if you use my code. And then we're going to compare it to the Flex right now, which only costs about $84 for the eval with the code. Now let's go over the Flex account, which is my personal favorite and my preference. Starting off with the pros again, sticking on to the theme of profit targets, the most important thing to me here is that there is no profit target on the Flex account. This is very important to me because I can treat it like a cash account. Let's look at this a bit more in detail. If you look at February over here, you can see that I was net profitable about $2,600, but I only got a $500 payout that month on the Pro. I was only focused on the Pro that month and wasn't really trading the Flex. And this kind of fucks with your mental because in your mind, you're profitable, but then you haven't actually gotten rewarded for it. So it kind of sucks to see that. Fast forward to March, I actually performed even worse than February because I had such a bad start, but my trading picked back up the following weeks and I actually got a $3,000 payout this month. So, and I actually have another account that's 4 out of 5 days in profit ready for a payout tomorrow or hopefully tomorrow or sometime this week if I hit another green day. That's just kind of an example of like, you can stagger accounts in the right way. You choose the right account, you can still get a pretty decent payout. Number 2 is there's no consistency. This is an obvious one because you're not capping your upside and you can really let your big days run. But downside is you have to also know that this is going to enable gambling a bit more. You're just not really punished for oversizing in this model. And third thing that most people will notice right off the bat is that the Flex accounts are $84 versus $111 after the discount. If you're only trading one account, then the $27 difference might be negligible. But if you're starting to trade 5 accounts, then that's $135 per attempt at passing. Going into the cons now, the biggest one is that the eval takes 2 days to pass. Having to get to 50% consistency on an eval is pretty annoying, I'm not gonna lie. The way I found, or the best way I got around this is I would just copy trade the evals onto my funded accounts at 2 times the size so I can keep a pipeline of evals going and I can try to avoid trading evals as much as I can if eval is the only account that I have. Even if I don't pass in 2 days, I try not to focus on it too much. I keep my eyes focused on the funded accounts just so I don't really do anything stupid. The second one is you can only withdraw 50% of profits. This bothers a lot of people, but for me, it's not that big of a deal. I just think of it as continuously building your buffer. So an example of this is if you're now funded, you're live, and you made about $2,000 in profit, you can only pull out $1,000. Or if you made up to 4,000, you can pull up to a max of 2,000 from the 50K. So again, you do have to leave a buffer in there just in case. But to me, again, it doesn't bother me that much because I would rather focus on being consistently green over 5 days than trying to hit like a target, or just focusing on like good trading and to be able to be rewarded for it consistently is a lot more important than like trying to get to a threshold and then hitting the max payout for that account. For me, I think the Flex is the clear winner for me because I just really want to focus on like making it more like a cash account and trading it like consistently versus, having to worry about all these rules. Eventually I do want to move to a personal account, and this is good practice for that. All right, now the giveaway. Here's how to enter. Number 1, drop a comment in this video. Tell me, have you tried Lucid? Number 2, subscribe if you haven't already, and then tag a friend. I'm going to pick a winner in about 2 days at 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern on April 2nd. I'm going to do a raffle and then I'll announce the winner in my Discord. Good luck in the giveaway, and I'll see you in the Discord. Thanks for watching.